you remember the original Joe Millionaire, drop a comment. Um, what was that guy's name? Evan Marriott, and I remember the chick he picked. I can't remember her name. Zora, something like that. Started with the Z, if I recall. Um, it's TV, so I know it's all fake. Um, but I always thought the concept was interesting because I feel like this is kind of what guys experience when they're dating, and a lot of times you read like what's going on social media and what gets published these days. Like people will say when they're dating they don't care about the money, but they do kind of care about the money. Man, what was that? There was a TLC song, "No Scrubs." When you think about it, even back then, that was kind of like an anthem, and it gives you like a peep into society about what really matters and what doesn't matter. Now, I do know there's people out there that just they don't care about money, so I don't think that's everybody. But when you're evaluating like a potential mate, you feel like that's part of the equation. Like who wants to spend their life with a lazy bum? And I think that applies to both sides. It doesn't always have to be the guy in this sense. Um, a lot of times you got the power couple, the two people out there that have careers and they're crushing it. Um, sometimes the guy stays home and the wife works. It's society's a little different. It's not 1950 anymore, and that's a good thing. Um, but I think it goes both ways. Where a lot of dudes I know that if they went off to law school or medical school, they were looking for someone who also quote unquote had their act together. They went to school or went to grad school. Those people tend to link up. But let's face it, if no matter who you are, if you're a guy that's got money and like a nice car, you tend to do better in the dating world. You talk to the people that are like on the dating apps and whatnot, and let's face it, if you're standing in front of your Porsche or your Ferrari, you're probably going to get more swipes, even if you're less attractive. And that's why I've always found this show interesting as a concept, kind of looking at social constructs. Not so much, I mean, it's reality TV that's all scripted, right? Um, just the fact that we like to say that these things don't exist because we don't want to admit they exist. Um, it's like, you all have friends that you know that they'll say looks don't matter, but everything they focus on is looks. And you'll have people say they don't care about money, and it's like people say things they just don't mean. They say it. What do they call it now? Virtue signaling or something? I don't know what the trending thing is. We say things that we think everybody wants to hear, but I think the smart people look through it and they go, okay. We all have that buddy who I married her because she was so smart, and it's like, yeah, but that's not really what you were saying for 5 years, right? And I think both sides do this, where a lot of times you end up getting in a relationship, or you end up marrying a body instead of a mind, and then it usually doesn't go too well because beauty fades. But in that same sense, this show kind of makes you look at that social construct of um, money kind of makes you more attractive. I want to was it a Nicki? It might have been a Nicki Minaj song that there's no such. It's Cardi B, Nicki, somebody I can't remember. I got the line in my head, but the line goes, "There's no such thing as broke and handsome." and these things do exist in our society. So I always found this show interesting. I like the way they're doing it here, where because now that they've already done it once, it's kind of hard to get people to go for the whole "you're dating a millionaire" thing. So now I'll present you with two guys that one's a millionaire and one's not a millionaire. It's kind of the play. Um, but it could make it interesting for what reality TV is today, anyways. The thought is, they're two different looking dudes, and I think that could also sway. I think people think that the money is the only factor, and I think that's a contributing factor. Um, you get to see how things might turn out differently because they're different personalities and they have a different look. So it may not just be all about the money, but we'll see. I always thought the original one was great, just as we look at that social construct of money makes you more attractive, money makes you more handsome, that you go after someone that can provide or be a provider, for example, in that old school kind of mentality. And then, penning someone up against the decision of, well, now that you know they don't have money, do you want to stick with them? And that's how you can see this one end up playing out where, does someone quote unquote fall in love? And then it gets down to it, they're like, I'm broke. Will they continue to go from there? We'll see. Everything's kind of made for TV, and none of it's real. And I don't trust anything on TV anymore. I don't even trust the news on TV anymore. But it's funny. I always said they should bring this one back because I thought it would do well. And here it is, 15 years later or more that they're actually bringing this one back. But if you got any thoughts on this concept, if you saw the original one, drop a comment below. And I'd be curious to see what you have to say. Until then, I'm going to catch you on the next one.